Harpies were once angels who fell into darkness, and as punishment, God transformed them into terrifying bird-themed demons called harpies. Ripper is rather small among other harpies, but his short stature doesn't mean he isn't as dangerous as the others. Sporting a mouth with rows of sharp teeth, poison quills, and a powerful pincer-like stinger, these unique adaptations give the little guy many creative ways to hunt prey and maul his unlucky victims. Ripper, of course, if you're familiar with birds, is based off of the cardinal, which is a very popular bird around the Christmas season. With that being said, let's get into the creature's voice and sound effects. Now, when designing a creature like a Ripper, under the pretense that he was going to be themed off of a cardinal bird, the design that went into this animal is that he was going to be smaller compared to the other harpy which I've designed called Karn. I'm going to flash a picture on screen here real quick. Karn is obviously themed around a chicken, specifically a hen. So, with him being much larger, more imposing, this guy, because he was going to be so small, needed to have extra bells and whistles. So, I came up with the idea to give him this pincer stinger tail, which is inspired by the pincer tails of an insect called the earwig. Really cool looking insect. And then I wanted to give him the ability to shoot spines out of his back. And this is similar to the porcupine's ability to shoot spines at people. And lastly, I gave him the ability to unhinge his jaw, even break his jaw temporarily from his face so that he can have his mouth be wider, further showcasing those horrifying rows of sharp teeth. And of course, his design is very pudgy, like the actual cardinal bird, so it led me to taking more creative liberties to making this guy. For example, cardinals have these black eyes, and I felt we could do it scarier by having some more reptilian, demonic eyes going on for the character. On top of that, I gave him these cute little talons, these kind of hands, on the ends of his wings. So he has the ability to scratch people too. And the reason why I felt the need to highlight that he, despite being small, is just as powerful and vicious as other harpies like Karn is because I needed this guy to be able to put up a decent fight against an angel warrior, that angel warrior being Harmony. And so, with that in mind, I needed the fight not to be over quickly. And I needed to show that despite him being small, he can do a lot of stuff. So there's things like I want to explore during the fight that is eventually going to happen where Harmony kills Ripper, is to have maybe Ripper use his pincer tail to tear chunks of Harmony out, maybe use his quills to poison her. So it's definitely not going to be an easy battle. She ultimately will still win, but she won't win without facing some sort of injury. So that is kind of the idea that I wanted behind this character. Yes, this character is meant to be battle fodder, but I still wanted to show that he isn't super weak just because he's a smaller little guy. Basically, Harmony will inevitably kill this guy by cutting him in half, but she will not leave the fight without some grievous injuries that, if not treated to, she is at risk of dying too. So she will go see Astenthe, the Angel Queen, and Astenthe will probably tend to her wounds, and that'll be the end of that. But the idea is that she will still be grievously injured during this fight. Another creepy addition to Ripper's backstory is that Ripper, unlike many of the other harpies that God or Ascenthi transformed from angels into these demonic bird creatures, is that he remembers fragments of being an angel. And that is why he reoccurringly tries to breach the gates of heaven. It makes his characterization, his reoccurring threat to heaven, very creepy because he's one of the few harpies that remembers that he used to be an angel, and thus explains why he's always attacking the front gates of heaven, and why he always has to be fought by either Harmony or one of the various other angel warriors, with Harmony being the one to finally end him. And when you relate to Ripper in this way, it kind of becomes sad in a way because Ripper is basically been relegated to an animal, right? He's an animal form, he cannot speak. He's just in this animal form, but he has memories of heaven, so he instinctively goes to heaven, whether it's to have some sort of evil intent or whether it's because he's constantly drawn to heaven and tries to break in there because he feels that's where he's supposed to be from the memories that he still retains. It's ambiguous. But the fact that he continues to return to this place and is ultimately killed by this endless quest to try to break in is rather sad when you think about it. But that was my look at Ripper, this demonic harpy creature. I think he's really cool. I love how the design turned out. I think he's awesome. One of the cooler creatures I think I've designed, and I made a lot of cool creatures in my time of being an artist. I love making monsters. There's just so many designs you can make with different types of creatures, but I think Ripper's cool, and I think the backstory, despite how small it is for him, is definitely pretty cool. I mean, he's ultimately meant to be a side character, so you're not really going to see much of him. It's going to be that one fight scene. But it's nice to see, the design that went into him and what his actual backstory is, despite being battle fodder. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if you want to see more of my OC creatures and characters. I will definitely do showcases on them. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the next video.